So look, both of you guys, your advice has impacted so many young and ambitious people's lives. And in today's video, we hope to perhaps reignite that fire in people to seek their maximum potential with some guidance, and also perhaps go a little bit deeper into both your stories, who you are as people. And to start things off, I want to get really quick into it. There's a lot of ways out there to improve our lives, to reach our full potential. Is there one particular way, or like would you say there's one way if you had to rank it at the top? What's the number one most crucial thing when it comes to self-improvement? What would you rank as the highest?
I think it's self-belief.
Okay.
Knowing that you can achieve these things that you desire. For me, a lot of people are lacking that, and I lacked that for a long time in my life. And it was once I started to get in that mode that I started to make progress.
Self-belief is very true. If you have any limiting beliefs in your head, it's never going to work.
Those are natural and they'll always come. It's just learning to push past those and prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving those things.
And how do you push past it?
You don't listen to the thoughts in your mind and you do the work anyways. And the small wins show you what's possible, you know?
Nice. What about you? What do you say is the number one? It's hard to say because there's so many. Every day there's like a new kind of improvement hack. There's like cold plunges, you know, meditation, affirmations, law of attraction. Every day is like a new way.
Similar to what you said, but when you look, what is to believe, right? So self-belief. Believing is this idea of having faith in something that you don't know is real. To me, the most important one is self-realization, where you don't have to believe it, you know it to be. So now this idea of leveling up and pursuing something is not because you believe and hope that something's going to happen, but you've realized that if you do this, you will receive this. From input, you'll receive a certain output. So you no longer have to live a life of fear because it's not a life of belief, it's a life of realization and certainty. So I agree with you. It's this idea, which I know that's what you were trying to convey, this idea of deep down knowing for sure and coming to that conclusion. So yeah, I'm with you.
Many people are lacking the ability to have that self-realization. So how can you get to that level? What do you think? I mean, you've done it with your show, you've done it in your career. I'm curious how you guys feel about that.
Honestly, for me, it's always a challenge, you know? I think there's a good quote from Alex Hormozy where he's like, you don't build confidence by telling yourself that you are good or you are this or you are that. You get confidence by having a stack of, what does he say? A stack of times where you've proven to yourself that you are that type of person. So I guess by the actions that you do daily, you're forming your identity in your mind of who you are as a person. And then it's like a reciprocal feedback loop, because the actions you do decides your identity, but your identity decides the actions you do. So if you work on doing the actions in the beginning, once the identity is formed, you no longer have to rely on your willpower anymore. It's no longer a struggle. When the time hits 5 a.m. and your alarm goes off, you no longer have to push yourself out of bed. Your brain knows it's go time, because that's who you think you are as a person. What about you?
As a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah.
If you think it, bro, that's the reality of your life. So if you think you're a failure, if you think you're a loser, if you think you're designed to live in a cubicle, then that will be the reality of your life. But if you realize that you can be whatever you want to be, and nothing's holding you back, and nothing's stopping you except you, then once you get out of your own way, the game begins.
Amazing, amazing. All right. So I just mentioned previously about affirmations. Have you guys tried that, and what's your thoughts on that? Because we've all seen the clips, you know, sometimes of people like, you know, they say, I am this, I am wealthy, I am wise, you know, you repeat it in the mirror. Have you guys tried this? What are your thoughts on that?
Everybody has affirmations. Some are positive, some are negative. Ultimately, I feel like an affirmation is the thing that you're repeating in your head over and over and over again.
Whether you know it or not.
You are having it subconsciously if you don't know.
Yeah.
So you should be aware of what these affirmations are and try to be in control of them. But we all have them.
True. The thoughts go on in our heads. Is that something you've done, Luke?
Affirmation comes from the word affirm, which comes from the word to establish, a firm foundation. So affirmation is the foundation of your identity, and you decide what you want to affirm it to be. So upon this firmament, you're going to build your entire identity. So like you said, it's both affirming. You can affirm anything you want. You are the molder of your own mind. So I agree with you. the affirmations are not just a positive or a mantra. It's how do you speak to who you are as a person? How do you perceive yourself to be?
Right.
And I think that is where self-realization comes. It's perceiving that you are not your name. You're not your religion. You're not what other people say about you in the comment section. You're not what your parents believe that you are. You're not what your friends tell you that you are. You're not what you've told yourself that you are.
You're not your thoughts.
You are so much more. But everybody's like, who am I? Well, first name, last name, color.
I'm from here. I like these things.
Those are things about you, but that is not you. Who are you? And people haven't even asked that. So once you identify who you are, which is limitless, then the game begins. Like I said it again.
Like, what's a lesson both of you wish you learned sooner in life?
Great things take time. Because I started my journey of trying to become an entrepreneur very young, around 13, 14.
Nice, me too.
Throughout high school, I had a lot of sadness and anxiety because I wasn't successful, and all these things that I was trying were not working. And I used to beat myself up so much. In fact, I found one of my old journals from high school, and I was writing in there, and I was like hearing that voice of that kid, and he was talking about how sad he was and how he felt like a failure and how life wasn't going his way. And if I could sit with him right now and just tell him where he was headed, I think not only would I have been successful faster, but I would have had more enjoyment on the process. But perhaps it was necessary for me to go through that to come to this realization. But that is something I wish I learned earlier.
Me too.
If there is one thing that I wish I learned earlier, is that there's nothing to achieve beyond yourself, beyond the actualization of yourself. No business that you build, no accolade that you receive, no title that you gain, no amount of money that you earn trumps or beats the self-actualization process of an individual, where you understand that your purpose is to become the best version of yourself, and that your identity doesn't lie in your achievements and what you do and what you have, but that you know that you are enough in and of yourself, and that you can live a life of peace. I wish I would have learned that before, because you start doing all these things, you start making all this money, you start doing all these businesses because you want your identity to be worth something, because you yourself don't find any worth, because you've been told what is worthwhile. The dude from Louis Vuitton is selling you the fucking pipe dream, mother. What is he selling you? That the Louis Vuitton bag is gonna make you dope. He conned everybody. There's a verse in the Bible that says, at the end of times, the merchants will deceive the entire world. Bro, design, that's all a scam. It's a gimmick, it's a facade.
And now he's the richest man in the world, just recently.
There you go. Yeah. So you start realizing that it's a capitalization on the identity of individuals, because people cannot have a self-identity because they don't know who you are. I wish I would have learned that I am enough, so that while I'm doing these things, I'm not doing them to find who I am, but I'm doing them because I am.
Nice. And you know what's interesting about this guy, Brennan Arnault? You won't even see him ever wearing like a loud logo or anything. So he just basically conned you guys to wear all these. You guys look like LV billboards. And he doesn't even, you never see him wearing a single LV t-shirt or one of these jackets, you know, with the like reflective.
He knows what it is. It's a bunch of walking billboards at the end of the day. And yes, they are selling the dream. They do it with the cars too.
Yeah.
The cars are fun, but you think when you get that you're gonna change at all?
True.
You're still that same person.
Yeah, facts, honestly. Cars especially. Cars are an interesting one, because it's like you feel like they're fun. You know, it's easy to like yourself. You can like yourself and tell yourself it's not materialism. It's just that I really enjoy going fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. But
cars are great. The issue isn't the car. The issue isn't the Louis Vuitton. The issue isn't any of these things. The issue is when your identity is placed in them. And when that is stripped from you, you are nothing.
That's your
if
value.
I was to take away your car, if I was to take away your designer, what would be left? Or are you a carcass of the dreams of other men?
So many people are that, a carcass of the dreams of other men, buying things and trying to become something that maybe they never wanted to be in the first place. And then when they get there, they're like, oh,
it was a scam.
Yeah, and now I'm broke.
And now it's too late.
Yeah.
But
at least I'm popping on Instagram, right?
At least people think I'm the drip. I'm dripping.
And when you realize, isn't even thinking about you.
They're not. They think about themselves. They're driven.
That is one of the most humbling realizations of them all. Nobody really cares that much.
Honestly.
Even if you did the greatest thing in the world and you were Kobe
People
Bryant
have
or
so much of
LeBron
their own
James,
problems,
Right.
their own difficulties, so much noise in their own head. Brother,
Nobody
if
cares.
you died today, your mother, me, and maybe another 50, 75 people show up. By 2 p.m., half of us are hungry. We're booking restaurants. By 5 p.m., your mom can't shed any more tears. She goes home, she goes to bed, and in the morning she figures out, how do I pay the bill? And everybody's back to work. Long gone dream, baby.
In a day, there's the post on the gram and on Twitter,
R.I.P..
Rest in peace, rest in peace.
Gone,
Then the next
out of-
thing.
yeah,
on to
dude.
the next.
So that's how people operate. They're operating off of the paradigms, the realities of other people, and their perceptions of them. Brother, everybody's perception of me is biased, flawed, whether good or bad. How do I perceive myself?
It's the only thing that matters.
It's the only thing that matters because it's the only thing that's real. When you're on your deathbed, your wife ain't gonna be there. Your family's not gonna. Your dad that runs your life now he ain't gonna be there. He'll most likely be dead already. It'll be you and yourself. And the question is, you're gonna have to ask yourself is, did you live this life the right way or did you f up?
Did you live it for others?
And that is where I define success.
That's the ultimate hell or heaven. That final moment where you're looking at your life like, I did what I said I was gonna do, or I never became that man that I wanted to be.
Damn. That's freaks
So
me
I
out.
think success will be defined at the end of your life. So I'll let you know when I get there. 120 years. That's how long I'm living. So got like 90 something to go.
Chilling for now. We on
So
the
yeah,
we
I-
young.
Yeah,
Life
we're
is
chilling.
good.
No
Life is
wrinkles
good.
yet. We good.
But anyways,
that,
good,
that got really deep for a second, but yeah,
good session, bro.
yeah. From like this, they say like when you're 20, you're worried about what everyone's thinking about you. When you're 30, you stop caring about what people think about you. When you're 40, you realize people were not thinking about you in the first place.
Try to get to that point at 40 sooner.
Or-
Sooner the better.
Or
Yeah.
just realize it right now.
Yeah,
listening
exactly.
to this.
Yeah. Just switch it on.